All right, what's up, you guys? I'm gonna do a quick trade recap. It was my first day trading on 550k tops up accounts. If you don't know, I've been trying to get funded with these evaluations for, I would say, 3 weeks, if not more. It definitely took a while, and I think the reason it took a while was just because I had to get used to sizing up. Because normally I trade with 50k accounts. And yeah, I think switching over to trading heavier, I just wanted to do that slowly so it wouldn't get to my head as much. So I was taking my time with them. And also, another reason to why I didn't post trade recaps, to be honest, is because I wasn't catching, I would say great moves, and I was getting chopped up most of the time. I mean, if you look at the price action from the past week, it's been pretty rough, at least for me, because I feel like in consolidating markets like this, I'm just not great at trading them. But yeah, I took those evaluations slow, but we're now funded again. I got 420, around 420, 410 in each account. It was actually one trade that I took. It says I took two trades though because I ended up scaling in. But I want to talk about what I could have done differently because I mean it was a day where it's like you caught a piece of the pie, but you could have caught more if you just did less. Huge learning lesson though. So, anyways, I mean, I'm pretty thankful that I caught the moves that I did. But the zone that we were looking at was this 3 hour, and I'm actually gonna put this in replay mode to show you what I was kind of thinking. So the market looked something like this before it opened up. Also, I'm not gonna mark everything that I usually mark up because it doesn't really matter if I'm just doing the trade recap. I just want to show you guys the reason I ended up going long, okay? And it was purely just because of this 3 hour zone. So, and also some people don't really like seeing all the white lines that I usually have, which is understandable because you can't really see it clearly. So that's also why I'm not showing you guys how I usually have the charts, but I will show you like basically what actually made me take the long, which was it was mostly this demand zone slash support zone slash order block slash whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It is a point of interest, really. That's what really matters. But so yeah, this is what the market looked like. Wait, let me show you. Okay, yeah. So this is when I was charting, and as soon as I woke up, I knew that I wasn't going to trade in like the time that I usually do because Trump had a meeting, and he had a very important meeting or a very important speech that he was going to give at 10 a.m. So I was like, all right, let me wait till 10 a.m. So boom, market opened up. We ended up closing below my 30%, my 50% line, which if you don't know, usually this is my sign to go short is when I see a 5 minute candle close below my 50% line. So trust me, I definitely wanted to go short, but I was going to wait till Trump spoke because with these types of markets, you guys know how it gets when Trump is having a speech or even when he tweets. It's just sometimes it's kind of dangerous to trade if you're on the wrong side. It's very volatile, so I was just gonna wait for that. And as you can see, it definitely ended up going down, but it did go down in a very choppy way. So I was still waiting for 10 a.m. As you can see, when 10 a.m. hit, nothing really happened because he was 50 minutes late. Okay, so I guess he's on his own timing. So we were really waiting for a while before we actually ended up looking for trades. Trying to get, yeah, right here. This is when he started to speak. As you can see, more volatility came in, huge spike. If you look at this on the 1 minute, the candlesticks definitely look different as soon as he started to speak. but I was looking at the 5 minute candlesticks. And then after a while of him speaking, we saw a reversal. Now, this is where I actually took the long. Once I started the market, not only having strong candles, but also having a direction, with a continuation, I was like, okay, this is good for longs. But the only way I'm going to take a long is if we close above this area here, which before, it had a nice reaction to. So it was another reason why I trusted to take longs. So as soon as we closed above my 50% line and we started trading outside of the zone, then I took a long. My entry was around 164, around here. And then I went in with 5 micros, risking $500. My stop loss was around this area, something like this. And then my TP was at 400 ticks, around there. Now, once this candlestick closed strong, I was like, okay, it's about to be 11:30. The new 15-minute candle is about to be formed, so we might see a pullback. Now, what I want to see on this pullback is price retest the white line and have a nice bounce from it. And as you can see, that's exactly what we had on this next 5-minute candle. So once I saw the candlestick reject 50% perfectly, which I've seen many times where it does this, but honestly, the past 7 days, price hasn't really been respecting levels like it did today. Maybe that's just me though. But yeah, once I saw this wick being created and then market having a nice reaction to it, I ended up adding to this. So my entry got moved up. So I moved my stop loss up to the new wick. Now, around here, as you can see, we have a strong 5-minute supply zone. So once we tapped into this supply zone, I was like, all right, let me be safe, right? Let me go for break even. So I ended up breaking even around this area after I hit a 1-to-1 around there. And the mindset that I had was, it wasn't let me let this play out. It was actually, now that I'm green, let me lock in some money because I didn't wait all of this time to get stopped out break even, which, now that I think about it, that's actually a bad way of thinking of it because I wasn't really thinking about risk to reward, and I think risk to reward is very important to actually do in trading. I mean, that's risk management. And once you just focus on hitting a 1-to-2 all of the time and not just a 1-to-1, then you're going to see more profits naturally, even if you have a low, winning rate. But once I saw it tap into the zone, I actually locked in some money, and I'm going to show you guys where. Because actually, I'm going to show you on the 1 minute because I think that's a better way of seeing it. So yeah, once it touched the zone, I actually moved my stop loss up right here below this wick. Now that I think about it, it's like, bro, why would I do that? But I understand why I did it, purely just because I didn't want to leave without any money. And like, that's kind of a really bad way to put it, but it's the truth. So I just locked in 420. And every time, man, I learned that it's literally just better to do less. And doing less in this situation was literally putting break even and letting go of it. But I guess waiting so long for the trade definitely got to my emotions and patience. But for next time, I mean, bro, 10K day coming up because as I scaled in, my original TP was at $2,000, which was perfect. And I got stopped out at this candle right here. So I was like, all right, chat, like, I'm about to call it a day here because maybe it'll go down from here, And I kid you not. It ended up pumping like crazy. So I could have had a 10K day. And it's one of those days where it's like, oh, I should have, could have, would have, da da da, Oh, I could have done this. I should have done that. But instead of thinking that way, I just want to think that, hey, the strategy still works and you did everything right. Like, you're very patient for the trade. I can't have the mindset of, next time. No, that is a mindset that I have. Next time I gotta do differently. But I can't go in with the mindset of, let me lock this little money in, in case it does go down. No, it's either break even or TP2, you know? Because then if I keep doing that, trailing when it hits a certain level and not letting it play out, then it's gonna mess with the RR. Because my RR should always be 1 to 2, not 1 to 1.3, 1 to 1.5. You need to see consistency in your RR, so then you don't have to focus on the amount of times that you actually win. Like, you don't have to focus on your winning rate as much, you know? But overall, like, it was a beautiful trade. Of course, in the back of my mind, I have, you should have done this, you could have done that. Um, but I don't want to think so negatively. I just want to think positively for next time, right? Because that's what you do in trading. You learn and then you execute in the future. But the whole point of trading, I think, is to become better as a person and learn every day, win or loss, learn to learn. Never stop being a student. But yeah, that's it for this trade recap. Beautiful day. But obviously, if you didn't know Trump was speaking around 10, then you probably got cooked up in this little trade. I mean, yes, you could have gotten, mini scalps here, but you probably could have gotten chopped up. Not gonna lie. But yeah, patience pays. If you want to trade live with me, the link is below. And thank you for watching.